Our founders risked their lives to provide it. Our soldiers have died to preserve it. Attorneys have argued, and judges have ruled for 2.5 centuries, further defining it. On December 15, 1791, the First Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified, mandating that Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. Today, 2.5 centuries later, we often take this invaluable right for granted. In other countries, citizens can be killed for expressing their religious beliefs or disagreement with government policy. In America, we are free to say whatever we want against policy, against politicians, and against the government itself. We often don't realize how vital freedom of speech is to the preservation of democracy. With this freedom, the people keep the government in check. Without freedom of speech, there is no limit to the government's control of the people. If the government has the power to silence people who disapprove of its policies, the government can do whatever it wants. In Stalin's Russia, the secret police snuffed out the flame of free expression with fear and intimidation. Without opposition, the government had the power to control every aspect of the people's lives. In Nazi Germany, dissenters of Nazism and revolutionaries against Hitler were sent to concentration camps. The result of this unchecked government was the murder of 6 million Jews. When the people have the power to speak out against things that they disagree with, the government must consider the will of the people. Freedom of speech also makes representative government possible. The constituents' communication of ideas to their representatives allows representatives to accurately represent the people in the government. Thus, freedom of speech is essential to Republican government. There are some reasonable limitations to the right of free speech. The First Amendment does not protect acts of libel, slander, or defamation. People do not have the right to tell lies that damage or defame the reputation of a person or an organization. In 1973, the Supreme Court decided that obscene materials that have no redeeming literary, artistic, political, or scientific value do not have the protection of the Constitution. In Chaplinsky v. New Hampshire, 1942, the Supreme Court found that words that inflict injury or tend to incite an immediate breach of the peace are not protected by the Constitution. Words that would cause clear and present danger, like falsely shouting fire in a crowded theater, were deemed not constitutionally protected in Schenck v. United States, 1919. The Supreme Court has also ruled on other limitations, but all restrictions to free speech exist to protect the liberty of the people. The right to speak freely is vital to the protection and preservation of the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.